All right, here's another point, right? Right. So I saw Ghostbusters, and like I told you, right, a lot of things we're all dealing with are in the movie. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We all have these questions. Now, what they're trying to do is show you something you can't see, right? The reason you can't see the afterlife, though, right, is it's in a different dimension, right? Lower than this dimension, by the way. Mm-hmm. Now, don't think Satan died first. He died after Jesus, right? Because Jesus was slain before the foundation of the world, right? Don't think he just died on the cross, idiot. Satan had to do something to make sure he could tempt Adam and Eve. And there's only one being that would try to interfere with it, and that was Jesus the whole time, right? Now, on the seventh day, he rested, right? I don't know what that exactly means, but if he was here with us, right, in Eden, as was Satan in Eden, right? Read Ezekiel 28 and 31, right? And both tell you he was there. Or you're not wanting to hear, he was there. It talks of the trees, too. And one particular tree that all the other trees envied. Last time I checked, a tree cannot envy another tree, can it? No. The apple tree don't say to the orange tree, because you're an orange tree, I'm jealous of you. I envy you. But a human being can envy another human being. Right. Right? He's giving these trees human emotion, right? Or it's going over your head. Right. And you're letting it go over your head. And you don't want to deal with it. But I'm dealing with it for myself. To save myself. Like Peter said, from this untoward generation. Now, I'm listening to the whole Bible. You're not even listening to the half of the Bible. Because if you were to read the whole Bible, they couldn't even put some of the stuff in the Bible on TV. It would be rated X. Right. Let's give it another X. Quadruple X. Because you're not reading it either. You're not reading it either. Especially the Christians themselves, when they would see what horrible things they're doing is in the name of Satan and not Jesus. Now, even in the case of David, right, God knew it was better to let the child die 7 days later than to grow up under that banner, right, of being the child of rape and perhaps even murder of his own supposed to be father by King David, right? Now, see, I'm trying to give you different viewpoints, right? That's what this is about, too, right? Well, what's Bathsheba's viewpoint, too, right? The king sends for me because he sees me purify myself in my little home, right? And I think there's at least a wall. Mm-hmm. And all women in Israel, I know, right, are supposed to purify themselves after their period, right? And guess how many days it usually is? 14, right? Within 14 days, right? Well, guess when you ovulate? Within 14 days, right? Unless you're on birth control therapy, then that's something different, right? You don't know how that shit works. So don't do it next time, right? Whatever you did, don't do it again. Wasn't my idea either. It's yours and Steve's, I guess, right? Because you're living with another man who knows by then we were having sex in motel rooms, right? So don't tell me you didn't do something to more please him than me, huh? And that's when you fucked up. And I told you not to do it. Don't make me cheat on you. Don't push me to the point where I'm willing to be with another woman myself. But even with the upstairs neighbor, she had a jealous boyfriend, right? If I did have sex with her, I don't know, right? Because I'm not trying to, right? But she came down because the guy left her there. what am I supposed to do but help her out? Yeah, I know. And I helped her out the best I could, right? If that included sex as a reward for helping her out, the only way I wouldn't know is the boyfriend or my girlfriend, right? And the reason it happened is both are acting crazy, right? Towards what my girlfriend towards me and him towards his girlfriend by expecting her to know what the hell to do. I had to take her around because she didn't know what the hell to do, right? So I'm just trying to help her out, right? Because he left her there by herself. And of course, she notices me. And if she fucked me, that's fine. Well, I remember him too, right? He didn't really go off somewhere. He left her to fend for herself and wonders why she fucked another man. I know why. She don't owe you shit. I don't even know we were together sexually though, right? The only thing I think could have happened, like I said, was late at night because she was lonely, right? She came down to my house. We had sex, right? And I was telling her about what Mary Bell was doing, right? And we both fell into each other's arms, right? And we loved. But then she would have to come back to the apartment to wait for him. She couldn't just stay with me, even if she wanted to. Why do you think that was, right? He's the jealous kind, right? He's creating her a bad situation for her, but what's she supposed to do about it? Get help, someone to help her out. And, if that guy is single and trying to have a relationship with another woman and she's giving him bullshit, she's going to identify with me more than her boyfriend too, right? Just like I know she's in a bad situation because of him, right? Right? Not me. Now, like I keep telling you, when I go to these restaurants, I'm only eating a small amount of food. I eat a little bowl of soup. Right? I eat a little salad. And I'm waiting for the steak while doing that. Right? Yet the whole meal turns into over 40 minutes. Right? Does it normally take you that long to eat salad, soup? And I'm not talking about a big one. I'm talking about a little cup. Less than 8 ounces of soup. Right? Right. Some steak and a baked potato with bread. And then I got some dessert. Right? Of different varieties. I got a little bit of, I think, peach, pear, and cherry pie type stuff, right? Got a little pudding, right? Banana pudding and chocolate pudding, right? And then some mixed ice cream, though the ice cream by them was kind of a little bit mixed and then white, right? Like that. And that's the whole point. Right? Now, the problem ain't they eating other food. The problem is it's taking me longer to eat the food than necessary. Now, even if I'm there, I'm not there to have sex with nobody. But I saw Candy again, who I knew ever since she first started working out there, right? Candy's been there a while, right? And again, right? I know her more than anyone else. Now, I like the cute Asian-looking girl, right? And I like this other woman, right? Who, again, looked like she could be the girl in my dreams too, right? Candy, the Asian girl, right? But not every woman looks like the girl of my dreams, right? Or a redhead, like I said, right? Her I was having sex with, right? But I ain't gonna just approach every redhead either and try to have sex with them all, right? I go through a checklist. First you check the what? Age. First you check the what? Now I know Candy's old enough, but like I said, I'm trying to respect her rights, right? Candy's working, right? She ain't there to have sex with me, I know that. But if I'm just eating my food and I say, hey to candy, that's all it is a polite greeting, right? I don't expect no more from candy than that, right? If me and candy want to do something more, I don't even remember anything happening like that. I keep telling you that too. But because of the time I'm speculating, well, why is it taking me 40 minutes more to eat the same amount of food that should take me 20 minutes to eat, right? Probably less normally, right? Now, when I'm at home, I have no problem eating. When I go through the drive-thru, I have no problem there unless there's a long line of cars, right? And then you gotta wait for each person to order their order, and then you go back home and eat the food. And that also seems to be quicker when I'm at home, right? But you cannot confine me to my house if I got arthritis instead of paralysis, right? No, you can't. No, you can't. Just because you, in your opinion, think you know better than my faith in Jesus. My faith in Jesus trumps all you crazy doctors today. And you're worse now than you were then because you still think you know more than God. Now, I'm not saying you don't know nothing. I keep telling you that too. But you don't know it all. And all you're studying into is how people die. You're not studying into how people are resurrected because there's not a lot of people who really were. Huh? They just thought, right? Well, unless I'm one of the first ones since maybe the disciples themselves, right? And whoever the hell's on the Shrine of Turin, because that ain't even how they bury someone in Jerusalem, right? It ain't even close, right? But that might be how someone would bury Peter in Rome. Yeah, Peter. Were you resurrected, my brother? And lied about it! False prophet! Are you the one John's warning us about in Revelations? Are you going rogue on Jesus, forgetting your first love? Because he ain't talking to me, I just got here. I don't know. But he's naming two witnesses who stand, one of them, before the throne of God. A male child is caught up to God's throne, right? Jesus ain't male. No, he ain't male. Only. He's both. Even the male ain't fully male, but his mom and dad, right? And the female too. Even though she's a double X. She still gets one X from her dad and one X from her mom, right? Now, even a hermaphrodite, though, gets a double X or an XY from the mom or dad. I don't know how that works, right? They don't either. They don't know how that gene works, right? I've even seen the XO and O and X and all kind of weirdness, right? I've seen triple X, quadruple X, right? Because if you got two X's, you can have up to four X's, right? Damn. And if you got XO, you can have two XO or XOX, right? Or XOY. Now, these are gene patterns for a hermaphrodite or intersex person. Now, why don't the Christians know about Constantine and Peter? Peter is the Santa Claus figure there, asshole. Kurt. He's the false prophet John's warning you about. He only halfway allowed Paul to tell you the truth. And the truth has to do with the mediator not being the mediator of one, but God is one, right? And though there's one mediator between God and men, that includes women. See, there's enmity between you and your wife, which only Christ can make you one again, right? That you don't know of, right? Including the fact that you came in the same body as Jesus did, right? Through Adam and Eve, right? Eve was in Adam. If I take something that's in you out of you, you're no longer the same person, right? You were when she was in you, right? Right? And with the way it works for the true hermaphrodite is they're like X, X, and XY in one body, right? That's fully being male and female, right? Not partially, right? We're partial male and female, right? What purpose? To reproduce, right? If you're hermaphroditic in your origin, right, and you're made to, that means you're to reproduce and have a baby. Didn't he say be fruitful and multiply? Fruitful, multiply. Last time I checked, even Satan and Jesus, if they were in the flesh, could be fruitful and multiply with them. Right? Now, it wasn't the tree of life they couldn't eat of, his fruit. Right? It was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, his fruit they couldn't eat of. Right? Not that Jesus would seduce Adam and Eve either. Do you think? No. But who would seduce them? Satan. And how would he seduce them? In an evil way. In an evil way. Not a good way. Now, I don't know how many times I gotta keep trying to explain this silliness to you, but when they're talking in their language, they're talking in a kind of symbology sometimes. Now, for instance, what does it mean when John talks about Satan being cast into the bottomless pit? Right. Well, the human body, right, there's only one hole that both the male and female have that can be called the bottomless pit. Hermaphrodite too. And that's the butthole. Why? Because it has a top with an opening. And yes, you can open and close the hole. Mm-hmm. But you also have a butthole, which can also open and close. But technically, they're both, there's no top or bottom. Right. Technically. Right. Because the hole goes all the way through. Right. Your body to the butthole. Right. So technically, it's a bottomless pit. Damn. Right. And it's also a topless pit, right? Because there's no real top or bottom, is there, right? Mm-hmm. Technically, no, there ain't. No, there ain't. Why? Do you think this is the top or the bottom? Depends on how you're arranging your head. You ever heard of walking on your hands? Right. If you walk on your hands, this is now the bottomless pit, and that's the top pit. Right. Oh, they're thinking of it that way, huh? No. Well, that's why it's neither a top pit or a bottom pit. It goes through your whole body and it has neither a top nor a bottom, right? Because it can be switched, right? Like some person try to prove they can walk on their hands. When you do that, the top becomes the bottom and the bottom becomes the top, right? If you're laying on your side, it's a side pit, right? There's either a right side or a left side of the pit, right? Because the pit has no top or bottom, really. One's a mouth entrance for your food, and one's an exit for your food. Really, what's this used for, by the way? The main use of the bottomless pit is to eat food with, not have sex necessarily, unless you are really in love with the male or female who wants to have that kind of sex with you. That's still between you and them. Consensual sex is also what I'm trying to focus on instead of forced or rape sex, right? That's throughout your Bible too, right? They don't tell you about that kind of sex either, right? Because they want you to think if a woman just has sex with a man, he owns her for the rest of her life and she can't even divorce you. No, Moses didn't offer divorce. Well, for the hardness of your heart? Yes, for the hardness of your heart. What, he wants a man to say with a woman who he's miserable with, or vice versa? No, you're better to divorce, right? You're not listening to Christ with what Peter let them write about Jesus. Yes, who took over when Jesus left? Peter. Anything you have is Peter's editing of what Christ said. And like all editors, he's lying. When you're editing what someone says, you don't want them to know certain things in this man's life, right? Especially when John mentions the woman at the well, the marriage at Canaan, right? You don't even know what the hell that's about. Well, someone don't want you to understand what that's about. John is subtle in the way he reveals the bridegroom and the bride, right? Who do you think the bridegroom is there? Only one man in chapter 3 by John the Baptist is called the bridegroom. Only the governor goes to the bridegroom, not and talks about the wine being the best wine he ever had. But he don't go around telling everybody, just the bridegroom. Why do you think that is? Yet we're not told if the bridegroom is Jesus or not, right? But listen to the point of the story. Whoever is the bridegroom has the bride. Right? Now, if the bride is with 7 men after the bridegroom, has her the bride, right? I know. And this is outside of Jerusalem because it's in Canaan, right? And his wife is supposed to be delivered to him as a virgin on their wedding night, at least, right? So we know at least Jesus may have been married to one woman and had sex with her at least during the first week, right, of their marriage, right? Now, the thing is, usually if you don't conceive right away, they make that an issue sometimes, right? Usually had sex, right? Now, the woman at the well, she had 5 husbands. She got 5. And they all divorced her. And the 6th one was her living lover. Now, if Jesus is teaching, judge not, lest ye be judged, Christian, how many times would this woman be condemned by you for being married 5 times and living with a man? All 5 times. And for the man that she's living with today. But Jesus accepted her, knew that was her situation, and may have been her 7th lover. May have actually gotten her pregnant, but not his wife yet, right? And that's because he did not arrange the marriage, they did for him, right? Usually that's your parents, right? And this is a custom in Judaism too, right? When you get around 30, they arrange your marriage. They arrange your marriage if you're not married by then. No. And you're delusional. So was Constantine. Because he's the reason you confuse it. It's a choice, right? I know. And you're playing dumb, right? Also about the woman caught in adultery. That could have been one of the 7 men she was with. Mentioned by the Pharisees or scribes or Sadducees, where it was. They talked of a woman knowing 7 brothers, right? And marrying the first brother. Right. But he died, right? Until all 7 brothers had her to life, right? Now you might say, well, what does that have to do with Jesus, right? Well, even in an arranged marriage, right, if they don't want the couple together or not, right, they could interfere because of the controversy surrounding Jesus' own birth, right? Right? Now they know they gotta let her be with him on the wedding night. But like I told you, most people know when a woman conceives, right? But these men also died. 7 devils are cast out of Mary Magdalene too. Now, what do you consider a devil if you're Mark telling you this? Does this mean there were 7 devils in Mary's mind that Jesus had to cleanse her mind over? 7 men had sex with her 7 different times, right? And none of them got her pregnant. See, another thing is if you're cast out of your female and you're having sex with her, that means you didn't get her pregnant. Your sperm was rejected by her body because either an egg wasn't released then, right? Or you were too early or too late to get her pregnant, right? When you actually had sex. Now, you may have thought you had sex with her at the right time. But if you're off by even a few seconds and the egg dies before you get her pregnant, it's not your baby. No matter who you are, no matter who you are. Even me, Maribel, like I told you before, I can't swear the child's mine. I don't have enough facts for that. But I can only say he could be. No more, no less. I know I did have sex with her when the last time we had sex was September 20th, right? In 1996. In the Navy Lodge Motel. And, near the naval base, right? In Norfolk, Virginia, right? I don't even remember the damn room, right? Or shit like that, right? But I know we were having sex in that motel room, and at least twice that night, right? Which normally we do it 3 times, right? 10 minutes both times, which is 20 minutes, so, right? And again, right? I recently, last year, lost time with the girl from Comcast, who unexpectedly showed up to my house and knocked on the door. Mm-hmm. But guess what? You don't remember her knocking on the door. Yeah. But like Paul McCartney says, if someone's knocking on my door, somebody ringing the bell, I usually what? Let them in. Yeah, I do. That's true now. And there's no reason I wouldn't have heard her, because I knew she was about to show up anyway. I was in the back trying to get dressed anyway. And, now, unless something weird happens, right? And I had my shirt on already, all I would have to do is get on a pair of shorts between there and the door. Mm-hmm. Unless she said not to worry about it. And I took her literally. And we had a fantasy meeting, right? I made love, and I know she was in the house, right? That's part of the job, right? And she was there for the 15 minutes. She can't leave the house for 15 minutes. So there she is. Now that's enough for me to have sex with her at least twice, right? If not 3 times, if I do it within 5 minutes each time, right? And that's not counting foreplay, which could be up to 20 minutes. And she was there a grand total of 22 minutes, right? Now, like I said, that don't mean I can't be with a woman and do it fast or slow, right? If I don't know I'm having sex at all either, right? But like I said, right? Now, like, for instance, I'll put on my own punchlines with some of the movies I watch, right? Now, I can't tell you all I did with Ghostbusters yet, because a lot of you ain't seen it, but some of the gags you might get that I would do too, right? Let's see if I can do it for instance, right? Alright. But anyway, I'll just let that go for now, right? And come back to it later on. Right. In the future.